Hit the record button. So welcome everyone. Welcome to the Wellness From Within Roundtable and Summit, where I'm Mary Gooden. I am your host. And really, as I was saying before I hit record, it's all about love for me and sharing our voice and sharing our vision and sharing our passion and sharing our purpose. And it really is escalated when we feel balanced and well from the inside. And then it really does start to show up on the outside. Um, I've got quite a few expert speakers in here tonight that are going to share with us their wellness tips and maybe teach us a little something or interact with the audience a little bit. So know that maybe some people will call on you as part of what they get to share tonight, or call on a volunteer. So I love to interact. I love for everybody to get a chance to share who they are. Um, so as I was saying, I support soul-inspired entrepreneurs really, and gaining high level of visibility through speaking and writing, sharing our voice and our vision on a global platform. And it's all about what we're willing to say and how we're willing to say it and who we're willing to say it to, that allows us to take the next step in our life and in our business and in our mission. And so for whatever reason, it's always good to practice and get in the room. So welcome to the room. Welcome to this place. So if you're an expert speaker and you know who you are, if you could go change your name, if you hover over your video there and you hit the three little bubbles, you can rename yourself. And if you just put an E in front of your name, Jessica and Laura and Dr. Barnsley, Elise, Ellen. And then for those of you that are joining as guests, welcome. If you're a guest speaker, if you know you'd like to share a little something tonight, because we have a whole level of how this gets promoted and who we invite to the Wellness Roundtable. So if you want to be a guest speaker and you'd like to share a little bit, just put a G next to your name. So three little bubbles, rename G, and then Liz or Jill, because I'd also like to share a bit about who you are. And if you're just here to enjoy, just leave your name as it is, or just be here to enjoy. We're all going to enjoy this. So welcome. This is being recorded. You can find all of our information through YouTube also. I'll get a link in the chat sooner or later. And while I'm talking about links, have your links ready and easily available so that everybody can get a chance to know you more. I'd love a little sound off in the chat where you're joining from. I'd love to know where everybody is in the world. So exciting for me. I'm in Sedona today, and I'll be in New Orleans next month, making the change just before the holidays. Yeah, Irina, welcome. We're going to celebrate Irina a little bit tonight too, because I like to celebrate and celebrate every single one of you. Irina, if you'll just put an E, rename yourself and put an E in front of your name. Irina is one of our expert speakers, and also she's launching her book, her first solo book, tomorrow. Really, it's probably live in Australia in minutes, but maybe some hearts or some hands in the chat too, celebrating Irina for really taking the next step forward with her voice and her vision and putting it into a book. I'm excited for you, Irina. Little housekeeping, as I said, we'll go around. We'll take one round robin around the room, and everybody that wants to speak, love those balloons, Laura, will get a chance to introduce themselves. I love a good 20-word intro if you've ever heard of it, if you've ever been on the infamous Kimberly Crow stage, or you've been here at the Wellness Summit before. We talk about it a lot. Who am I? Who do I serve and what do I serve them? Or who am I? What do I lead with? How do I guide people? What do I guide them through? And I'll give you a little example of that for myself. So who am I? What do I guide with? What do I lead with? What does my business do? And who do I do it for? So I'm Mary, and I support soul-inspired entrepreneurs, as I said, with speaking and writing, really publishing their book in 90 days. It's an exciting adventure to really get yourself out there visible. Um, so get yourself prepared with that. So links are ready. We'll go around the room in just a hot second, and we'll all get to introduce ourselves. And in the meantime, we'll have Q&A. Some of our expert speakers were going to teach us something, lead us through something, and we've got a few more people, I think, that might be joining late. So I assume that we might be here for about 90 minutes tonight. If at any time that you need to check out, you've got things that require your attention, know that this is being recorded and it'll be moved over to our YouTube channel, so you can check out the back end of it there. And also on the YouTube channel, some of the pre-recorded presentations that the speakers you'll see here live tonight, you can access those over there as well, not only for tonight's summit and roundtable, but the previous months that we've done summits and roundtables. Those speaker presentations are also available to you. So it's all like a big bonus, all for the small fee of free. And we're happy to deliver, because this is who we get to be. Let me know if you have any questions in the chat ever. I'm here to monitor that. So that's our housekeeping. And without further ado, I want to start introducing some of the expert speakers. And I'll start because Jessica, you are the first box in my window. And I'd love to start with you, Jessica. Yeah, just welcome to the Wellness Roundtable, darling. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm going to
Thank you,
spotlight you.
Mary. Yeah, thank you. It's an absolute pleasure. Thank you for inviting me to this group. I am Jessica, and I help women entrepreneurs battling burnout reignite their passion and live in deeper alignment with their purpose, feeling vibrant.
I love that. Yeah, always supporting people with their vibrancy. And I think that that does support so much of that wellness from within. We want to shine from the inside out, is what I always hear. So thank you, Jessica. Thanks for being here. The next person I see, Elise, I've got you on my radar. It's great to see you. Welcome.
Hey, everybody. Hold on. I got to unmute myself. Hey, everybody. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for having me. Sorry, I'm in my gym clothes. I did not have a chance to change, but my name is Elise Morgan, and I am a life coach, author, and podcaster, transformational speaker. And what I do is I help awaken, inspire, educate, and elevate people so that they can love their fucking life. And I do that with sass and a lot of F-bombs. That's basically what I do. And I have a specialty in helping divorced women do that.
Very well. Thank you. Thanks for being here. And thanks for being here in your gym clothes.
Yeah.
Because, hey, I've been there, done that. It's one of the ways that I feel like I started taking a more of a leadership role in my life, as I started teaching group fitness and exercise, like getting on, that was like my first stage, my first microphone, and even as a personal trainer. And I know you lead a lot of people through that exercise too, Elise. So thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting women in such a way, because, statistics would say that, I don't know now, but I'm going to venture out with my intuition that 50, 60, maybe 70% of people are divorced or getting divorced or have been divorced and gone through this journey, I like to call it. So thanks for being here. I know you're going to share some wonderful things with us tonight. Laura, welcome. Laura, my friend in Sedona. Love to see you. Welcome.
Hi, everyone, and great to be here and great to meet everyone here. I'm also here in Sedona. I'm Laura Maven Starr, and I'm a sacred oracle and galactic emissary for Universal Divine Mother. Also a Magdalene Red Room priestess and a holder of the Magdalene Rose Code. So what I do is I love to guide women who are on the Rose Priestess pathway of higher love, to help them to really ignite their inner Magdalene voice, embody their high priestess soul, and help them to amplify what I call the 5D Deva powers of divine love, so they can give birth to their heaven on earth priestess mission that is deeply held inside of them.
Thank you. I love all of
Yeah.
it. Oh, thank you. Yes, Laura and I have been hiking a lot and playing a lot and really opening our hearts a lot during the time together. So thanks for being here, Laura. I'm so glad to see you on the screen too. Dr.
Thank you.
Barnsley, you're welcome. Thank you. There you are. Sometimes I get to play with my screen a lot. There you are. Welcome. Hi.
Hey there, I'm Dr. Bardsley Brown. I'm your badass business coach and Reiki. And I love to say that I marry the woo and the do because I do all sorts of healing modalities, come from a long line of intuitives, all the women in my family, in fact, and including my daughter. And what I do is I help business owners soar into six figures and more so that you can be one of the only 13.7% of business owners who make it to 100K or more. And you can be the biggest giver in the world. And yes, Elise, I drop a lot of F-bombs too. Yeah.
It's a fun word. I don't know what, I think that's why they tried to take it away from us, is because it's such a fun vibrational word. And so they made it bad. You ever thought that maybe that was the reason they would think that was the worst cuss word?
Yeah.
in the
And
world?
my other favorite F word is free.
I like that one too. Mine's fun. It's on the front of my new book. Fun. Thanks, Dr. Barnsley, for being here. I'm always so glad to be in a room with you. Dr. Barnsley and I did a couple of podcasts recently, one on hers and one on mine. And we just, like chickens flying out of the coop, we just let it out. We just let it go. So you should check those out too. There you are, Dr. Ellen. Thanks, Dr. Barnsley. It's great to see you. It's great to see everyone. Ellen, I'm going to bring you up to the spotlight. There you are. I've got to remove me, though.
Am I unmuted? Okay.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, well, good evening, everyone. I am Ellen Mosty Barner. I am switching back to to Mosty. So I'm not sure who to call myself, Elise. So I may tap you for some hints and help in the transition process of leaving a 22-year marriage. But that's not what I'm here to talk to you about tonight. What I'm talking to you tonight about is a self-love habit that I think can transform your life and the lives of those around you. Because once we love ourselves, we truly give back to ourselves what we give so freely to everyone else, that's when the real magic starts to happen. So I do help empower women to love themselves and to care for themselves so that they're better able to do whatever it is that they want to do in the world.
I love that, Ellen. Thanks for being here. Do you have shimmers in your hair?
I do. I have fairy
Oh my
hair.
gosh, they look great.
Thanks.
You
I'm
look
all
great.
sparkly.
Oh,
Someone
you look
nicknamed me
great.
Sparkles, but I'm not sure I want to take that on as a permanent name.
Well, I'm grateful that you're here because I know Ellen is also writing her book in the midst of moving through some of the most magnificent transitions of her life. Like, thank you for saying it that way. I can't get the hearts out, but thanks for being here. I always appreciate you being here and sharing your knowledge with us. Let's see, Irina. Hi, there you are.
Hello, thank you for having me. Great to be here. I'm Irina. I'm a transformational coach, an international best-selling author, podcast host, and I help women over 40 feel alive again to restore their soul and follow their dreams.
That's wonderful. And
tomorrow I'm launching my first solo book, which is called The Gift Inside, 12 Steps to Heal Unworthiness, Brokenness, and Victim Mentality so that you can find your happy. I believe we are holistic beings and we operate in 4 states of being simultaneously. So in the book, I'm sharing all about habits, how to create habits that allow us to thrive in physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual space. And I'm really excited. And thanks to Mary, Mary made my dream of becoming an author come true. I met Mary back in 22. And we've done 3 books together, and this is book number 6 for me and number 4 with Mary. And
Wow.
it's been an incredible adventure. When we share our stories, when we share our voices, it's healing for ourselves, and it also allows us to share our message of hope. My message is message of hope. I want to add light to people, bring light to people so that they can find their gift, because I believe we all have the gift inside, and sometimes we have forgotten that gift. And the point is to figure out what it is and then share it with the world to help inspire others to bring back hope, to live their best life.
Love that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being willing to share your story in such a way. And it really is thanks to you. Thank you for being bold enough, all of you being bold enough to mic up and to saddle up and to get a pen in your hand and to put your knowledge, your wisdom, your unique piece of the puzzle out into the world. That just lights me up. I'm having more fun maybe than you guys are, but I don't know. It lights me up for us to do this stuff. So yeah, it's been 6 because Irina is even really engaged in it, because her and I did 2 books together on soul parents, like single parents, shared their stories about raising their children as parents of soul, right? So thank you. Thanks for being here, everyone. So have I missed any of the expert speakers? I think I've got it all nailed in. So Jill, would you like to jump up into the spotlight and tell us a little bit about who you are and what you hope to receive tonight, and maybe give?
Sure. My name is Jill, and I work with retired women. I help them to find and go for their heart's desire. I use my gift of creativity and encouragement, and I am a kinesthetic teacher, so I present things from a kind of a different perspective. And I do these through doing retreats and from my podcast, which is called The Geeky Grandma with an Encouraging Nudge.
I love that. Thank you. Thanks for being here. Great to have you on the show.
And,
Liz.
and Mary, I just want to jump in real quick because Jill and I talked today, and she's jumping on with my invitation. Jill's also working on a book that sounds really fabulous. So I think you two need to connect.
Awesome. Thank you, Ellen. Thanks for inviting Jill too. And Jill, thanks for showing up and being here. Some people like to put a lot of things in the way, right? So it's like, thanks for coming on short notice. And thanks for sharing. Liz, I'd love to bring you up to the spotlight.
Here I am.
Hi, how are you? Ta-da!
Ta-da! So my dear longtime friend, Dr. Barnsley, invited me to show up. So you can blame her for my presence.
I would love to blame her for your presence. I would love to hold her accountable.
Absolutely. She's big on accountability, that I can tell you.
Yes, yes.
I'm not responsible if she misbehaves.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for being here, Liz. We're glad to have you. We're glad that Dr. Barnsley got out there and opened her mouth and said, "Come on, Liz, join us."
She just, did her fingers on the texting thing.
I know, right?
What you do, Liz?
Come on.
We are really good at that. So we've all got a chance to get to know each other a little bit, right? Now I'm going to encourage you. We're going to pause for a minute because I'm going to encourage you to use the chat. And I want you to drop your links in there now. So I want you to, now that we've all kind of introduced ourselves, now put your link in there. And I'm going to take it a step further, is I want you to kind of look through, and if somebody has a call link in there, look, we're going to get something done here. If somebody has a call link in there, book a call or a way to contact them, just pick 2 people right now, 2 people that you can make a deeper connection with. Because we could wait and we could save the chat and we could do all those things that we do a lot of the times, or we could just get it done right now. before I bring the first expert speaker up. And just so you're not super, super surprised, Dr. Barnsley, I'm going to bring you up first. But not yet. Right now, there's homework. I'm trying to find my information to drop in for everybody also. So just make it a point right now to, yeah, to connect with somebody. I'm going to put my call link in there. It's not something I usually do, but I'm feeling really drawn to it. So if you want to chat with me, I would love, love, love to chat for a little while with some of you that I don't already know. But even some of you that I do already know, I'd love to chat with you. So who's got one? Who's done this? Heart in the chat if you've got made one connection already. I don't see any hearts in the chat. I'm going to put a heart in there because I just did.
At least can you put your, can you reach out to me on Facebook? You're muted. I'm not on Insta much. My BA does Insta for me.
Who's talking to me?
Barnsley, Dr. Barnsley.
Oh, okay.
Dr. B, Blingy B.
Yeah, I put I went on your YouTube page, so I'll go Facebook.
Yeah,
And then also Ellen, Dr. Ellen, I can't click on your link. I was just clicking on stuff. It's sometimes when it's
I love this.
sometimes when it's right next to it, you can't click on it. And then Mary, I'll talk to you again, no problem. So
Yeah, I know. Get on there. I wonder if Mel, I don't see it.
Because I just clicked on my link for the handout and it opened.
I can
And I
tell
just
you who
clicked
Mel
on
is.
the book a 30-minute call and it opened as well.
Oh, good. Try again. Super. I love all this connection. So I'm going to bring Dr. Barnsley up. So we're going to go around to some of the expert speakers, and they're going to share with us a little teaching point, a wellness tip, and also what they've got coming up, because I think it's important to know as we get to know each other what they have readily coming up, something that you can, maybe an invitation for you to take another step deeper into something that you'd like to. And this is for everyone. So even the expert speakers that aren't going, step into some of these invitations. We're all here in this room for a reason. And I've got my heart wide open because I went and got the living chocolate cacao. So we are here to make some heartfelt connections. And Dr. Barnsley, I'm going to find the spotlight button, and woman, girl, lady.
Okay, while you do that, I just want to tell everybody, I know Mel, she's amazing. So her information is up here, and she's a kick-ass spiritual director. And you can text me and I'll connect the two of you. I invited her here tonight, and she is phenomenal and so much fun and powerful. All right, so that's up there.
Thank you. I was wondering where she might be there, and I just
She'll be back. She'll be back.
Super.
Okay.
Well, welcome, Dr. Barnsley. I'm glad that you're here, and I'm really excited for you to share tonight what you are going to bring some badass energy right through us, I think.
I'm going to bring some badass energy. And Mary, how much time? 10 minutes?
I'll give you, just shy of around 10 minutes would be good. But leave a little space in case there's a Q&A, or if somebody wants to ask you a question too.
Okay, perfect. All right, so I have a great question for you all. What's your curmudgeon quotient right now during the holidays? How annoyed and irritated are you with people in your life? Okay, 0 to 10. And I want you to be honest. 0 is not annoyed at all. I love everybody. And you're probably in deep denial. And 10 is like, they are getting on my last nerve, and I'm going to go throw myself off a red rock in Arizona. All right, so put it in the chat, 0 to 10. Where are you? And think about the person who most annoys you. I just want you to put where you are with that person right now. So I'm putting 6 right now. I'm being real. Okay. 5, 2, 0. All right, Liz, I need to torment you a little. A 9 with the most annoying person. I love that. Azadeh, put your video on. I invited Azadeh. She is a kick-ass engineer from Iran, and I just love her. She's kick-ass. Put your video on, girlfriend. All right, so we've got a lot of numbers here. Liz, and you and I'll have a little talk, all right, later. But Elise says she's a 0. Okay, well, we might need to have a talk too, Elise, because I see your nose growing, my love. Just with fun, all right? Usually there's someone, if you keep going, there's somebody who's annoying you. Well, here's the thing, you all. Tonight I want to talk with you about how to set badass business boundaries and badass boundaries in life so that you thrive, all right? And since we're talking about wellness from within, we need badass boundaries. Oh, Elise says I stay to myself. I get it. I get it. Okay. Yeah. Right. So you're just like, stay away from me. So everybody said they've got some annoyance going on. Let me tell you something. When you're angry, when you're pissed off, guess what? One of your boundaries has been violated. That's how you know. All right. So the first thing that we get to do is really check in with ourselves when we get pissed. And the thing is that most women do what? We suppress, repress, and oppress ourselves, and we become depressed. Suppress, oppress, repress our anger, and we become depressed. Guess what? Depression is anger turned inwards. So what we're talking about tonight is super important, especially with the holiday season when we get to spend time with Uncle Rufus, who always goes on political rants. Do you have an Uncle Rufus? Or Aunt Sally Ann, who drinks the entire tub of eggnog and then dances on the table. We get to deal with these people in the holiday time. And by the way, you all, I have a really hilarious series of how to have the most stressful holiday possible that's on my YouTube channel. There are 3 of them. I'm extremely proud of them. I hope you laugh your ass off. Go check them out. And please subscribe, because my VA and I are trying to build YouTube. I'm really on Facebook a lot, and we get all our views mostly on Facebook, but YouTube, we're building it out. So today I want to give you a special acronym that you can use to set these badass business boundaries and boundaries in life. And the acronym is BITCH with an E on it. BITCH with an E on it. Yes, I said the word, and it feels so good. And when you add the E, it softens it a little. So you can be, well, that's Dr. Barnsley. She's the sweetest biche I've ever met. Isn't that sweet? Sweet biche. And I have a whole series of biche books that I'm going to write, by the way, because I think it's one of the biggest things that causes problems for women. We're afraid to be biches. We're afraid to really stand up for ourselves. And we're afraid that somebody's not going to like us. We want everybody to love us. We want everybody to be comfortable. But usually the last person we think about making comfortable is who? Take your finger, scratch your head. Good job. Now tap. That's the one. Okay, some of you aren't doing it. I'm going to call you out. Get your damn fingers up there, y'all. Come on, let's have some fun. All right. Hey, look, Amy Spons is here. She's a kick-ass coach. She's coming on my show on Friday. Glad you're here, Amy. So you all, BICH is your acronym. I'm going to go super fast. This is really like a 20, 30-minute presentation. We're going to do it super fast. B, if you want to deal with boundaries with people, here's your secret. First thing you do is you build value and relationship first. Because when you have a good relationship with people and they're acting like asswipes, all you need to, and we know they're not asswipes, they're just acting that way. All we need to do is look at them with a lot of love and say, are you kidding me? Did you just ask me to clean the entire house? Are you kidding me? Did you just ask me to give you 15 extra minutes of coaching and you're not going to pay for it? Ha! So, are you kidding me? Is a very powerful way, once we have the relationship, that we can let people know there's no way in HE double toothpicks this is happening, but we do it with love. And people laugh because we say, are you kidding me? You don't think my books are worth $87 when they save you, my book package, when it saves you $400 to $800 a month? Are you kidding me? So that's just a little tool for you. Are you kidding me? I'm glad you're putting that up there. Yes, and Elise, you can definitely say, are you effing kidding me? if you have that kind of relationship with people. But the whole point is build the value and relationship first. Because when you have that, right, Mary, you can say anything. Case in point, I had somebody really offended at an email my VA sent. He sent me a Loom video, y'all, and he's a big dude. Like, he's very well known. All right, let me just say that. And I met him in France. I went to a seminar he held in France. So he sends me a Loom. This is this week, you all. And he really lights into me with love. He said, I'm telling you this because I care about you. But see, because I was in a space of, oh, I was coming from love. I was coming from promote people. I just responded with audios, and it sparked this wonderful discussion. So it strengthened our relationship, you all. But the point was, we had the relationship first. And that's why he felt comfortable telling me that he felt I had overstepped my boundaries. And here's what I did, y'all. Okay, I'll just tell you because you're like, well, how did she do it? He's married and I asked him out. No, that's a joke. That's a joke. He is married, but no, I didn't ask him out. He was on my podcast. He does incredible God bumps podcast like Mary did as well. And Mary's is awesome. Y'all got to go look at it. And when he did that, I just loved it so much. And I said afterwards, you know what, Carrie, I really want to be on your podcast. Can I be on your podcast? I loved our discussion. And no, that was not okay. All right. Because his podcast goes through something else. That's one of the reasons. But I think he kind of felt like, oh Lord, I don't know her well enough. So there you go, you all. See, I'm a promoter. I jump right in with both feet, you know. I'll bungee cord jump with you off a cliff any day, right? I'll say, come on, let's do it. But some people are more analytical and they'll stand back and they want to take more time. And that's what he is. So that's the B, build value and relationship first. The I is for inventory and expect. Inventory and inspect. Now, this can apply to your business materials. If you have people coming late all the time to your sessions, you've got an issue. They don't have the issue. You have the issue. Here's what you say. Oh, and be sure to come on time so you can get the full 60 minutes of your session. Now, everybody smile with me. Oh, and be sure to come on time so you can get the full 60 minutes of your session. What if I said so nicely, I'm not going to be late because your ass is late. You need to get there. And it's important. And I'm not going to make all the other people after you late as well. So that's just an example. When you have an issue that's showing up in your business, guess who's responsible? Take that finger again. This time, touch your nose. Okay. Oh, nobody's using their middle finger. Let's do the middle finger, y'all. Let's practice. Come on. Get those boundaries going. Arena's cracking up. I love it. So inventory and inspect. Do the gap analysis. And by the way, if somebody in your personal life is encroaching on your boundaries, who's got the issue? You've got the issue. You're the one who gets to change the shit to shift. There's only one letter difference between shit and shift. And you are the one responsible for making that change. Amy knows very well about this because she's got one of those spouses who comes across as a little critical. You know how that is with entrepreneurs. And she's kicked ass. And guess what? The other day he came down and he said, can I say this, Amy, what he said to you? He's like, don't sell yourself too short, honey. Oh my God. Total turnaround. This is the guy who was like, oh, you have to stop working because I need to go on a walk. So you need to go with me, even though it's still the business day for you. So inventory and see what's coming up. And by the way, if it's in your personal life, it's also in your professional life. Y'all, they're intertwined. Shit over here, there's a shit show on the other side too. How many times can I say shit? Elise, could you count today? All right. I hope y'all have a good sense of humor. So the T, we're going to be really fast, is take control and be clear. Don't wait around. Don't wait around. You're the one who sets the parameters. When somebody wants a one-on-one with you, you're the one who says, guess what we're going to do? I'm going to spend 5 minutes talking about what I do, you spend 5 minutes, and then I'm going to talk for 5 minutes, and then let's talk about what we could do together. What do you avoid? The people who won't shut up. And all they do is talk about themselves. That's just an example, y'all. You take control and you be clear about what's going to happen. And especially in your policies. Policies are not about restriction. They are about positive relationships because everything is very clear. And that way, guess what happens? Everybody gets happy. Nobody gets violated in terms of their boundaries. The C, you all, is for create written policies and contracts. All right. And you're saying, oh my God, do that at home? Yes. Yes. Sit down with your family members. Sit down and actually have your teenager write down what they want to do around the house. And you write down what you want to do. And y'all sign it and date it. Get it clear. Get it clear. Time's up. Okay, two more. H and E. Can I do the last two? I don't want to leave them hanging. H is handle infractions immediately if somebody transgresses what you've set up as a clear expectation. You don't wait. You don't bury your head under the covers. You handle it. You say, I noticed that we agreed X, and here's what's happening. So let's take care of this. Finally, the E is enroll your clients and family members in honoring your boundaries. So thank you for letting me rest for 10 hours tonight because I'm really tired. And then tomorrow I'll be happy to cook you breakfast. All right, you all, this is how the biche is the sweetest biche in the world. I know you're all sweet biches, and that's how you set badass boundaries to thrive in business and life.
Oh, that's fun. Thank you. Thank you. Who has questions? Has questions? Anyone? Anyone has a question for Dr. Barnsley?
Go on, Azadeh, I see you.
Beaches.
She's like,
I got to figure out how to stop the timer. I mean, I've just got to move my way over there. Well, thank you. Thanks for sharing. No questions. Did you get, Dr. Barnsley, what do you got coming up? What's going on?
Oh, Lord, a lot of stuff is going on. Right now, I have a special on my Get Out of Debt, Get On With Your Life book and audio package on the ebook version because I've sold out of the print ones. And it gives you $10 off on the ebook version. So I'll drop the link over here. And this is where people, when they implement, notice when they implement, it has a 6-month guarantee, but you have to implement. Don't call me up and say I didn't read it. Can I have my money back? Oh, hell no. It has a 6-month guarantee, but you have to implement. When you implement, people save $400 to $800 a month. So I'm going to give you a $10 off coupon and I'll give you the link now. So that's just one of the things, but I also have my ongoing Make It Happen Mastermind where we kick ass and bring people into more money in a month than they've ever seen. And Amy, for example, hit her first year-long contract. She nailed it. She had over $13,000 come in within a couple of weeks. I mean, come in, not promise, come in. That's different. So I have that ongoing.
Celebrating Amy. Well, you put the link for that in the or the one for the chat. And if you want to get connected with Dr. Barnsley, if you're not already connected, her information is also in the chat. Thank you. I should have put everybody's name in a hat and then I could get really playful with who I'm going to pick next. But I think that I would love to bring some really loving and feminine energy in. So Laura, not that you all don't have all the loving and feminine energy, but Laura, I'm going to put you on the spotlight and welcome you to the stage to share with us your many gifts. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's great to get together today and have these beautiful sharings and roundtables with other women. And it's been something I've been really passionate about, holding women's circles since 2020. In particular, online, I'm a little bit more of, with my own clientele, a bit more of a global contract that I have with the Divine Mother, the Divine Feminine, more than my backyard client. However, just been moved here to Sedona a couple of years ago, so this is actually a very global place. So, yeah. So a little bit about what I was going to share today, and it sounds like I love the whole topic about boundaries, and I also work with boundaries and teaching women how to hold boundaries as well. But I do it a little bit differently now than I used to, in the sense that I do it with helping women to really get in touch with their womb chakra. So the womb chakra, and just to share a little bit about that, because as modern women, many of us have been kind of conditioned or trained to not really think about our wombs, meaning our physical, womb or as an organ, but it's way, way more than that. Um, unless we're either pregnant or trying to get pregnant, or maybe we've had some difficult moon times, or maybe we've had some surgery, or something's going on with us. We never really are conditioned or trained as the modern woman to really bring our energy or bring our attention and focus down to the area of our wombs. Now, there's been a lot in the spiritual community about working with the chakras, especially the 7 major chakras in the body. However, the womb chakra sits near the sacral chakra, the second chakra, but it's not the same. It actually is, for a woman in a woman's body, the physical representation of actually a chakra itself. And when I say it's a chakra, it's actually even more than that. It's actually a stargate, a portal that has been very repressed and hidden within us for many thousands of years, until we have been ready, as we've raised our consciousness along with Mother Earth. And we've been doing that now for several lifetimes and years, to where we are now ready to remember this very powerful connection that we have with Earth Mother and Cosmic Mother. So I began my own journey around 2016. I was teaching Akashic Records and teaching others how to connect with the Akashic Records in the etheric realm, which I still do. However, what was interesting is that I do work with Mary Magdalene and Mother Mary quite a bit. They came to me in my own awakening journey to remind me that I am a red womb priestess. So what that means is that I was trained in the temples of Isis and Mary and Sophia to work with the powers, in particular the creative powers of the womb chakra, because it's actually, as I said, a stargate or a portal, meaning that everything that is birthed on this earth, has to come in through a physical womb. So, and it has to come in through, in my opinion, an organic physical womb. And that is a very mysterious process. It's a very sacred process. It's where we're actually birthing a soul, the essence of a soul, into a physical body. So, but, we are in this beautiful woman's body, made in the image of Divine Mother. And we can give birth to babies, but we can also give birth to, our businesses, our ideas, our visions, community projects. We're really constantly birthing life through us in every now moment, unconsciously and consciously. So what's been so beautiful about this journey, and that I love to share, is that the womb chakra for a woman is actually the creation portal where all of life is birthed, onto planet Earth here. And our womb chakra is actually meant to be a receiver for the frequency of higher love, or you could say unconditional love or pure love. And as women, we actually take the world in, and we see the world actually through our womb chakra, because it's actually not only on the physical level, but it's also on the emotional level, the mental level, and the spiritual level. It has all of these layers and levels to it. And I began to understand that it was way more than just this tiny little physical organ, and that the power of the womb has been deeply hidden and suppressed, as I said, for many thousands of years, and that when we talk about regaining our sovereignty, we talk about regaining our power as women, you begin to move through life differently when you begin to bring your soul light. I call it soul light, or the presence of your I am soul, which is sound, light, and vibration, really, that's riding in the center of this body and this elemental body. And when we begin to understand that we want to bring the entrainment of that light down, not only through the upper chakras, but we need to also bring them down to the lower 3 chakras as well, and to begin to clear and cleanse those chakras to really anchor in this light of our I am presence. And it's meant to be anchored actually into our womb chakra, because as we come through and open our heart chakra, of course, which is the receiver for love as well, the heart and the womb actually are meant to work together. Now, what's fascinating is that over the last couple of years, the Marys began to show me that the heart and womb actually create their own coherence field. And this is something new. This is something that is being rebirthed into our consciousness. We talk a lot about the heart and the brain, right? The brain heart coherence field, which is another one. But now we are being prepared literally to, as we clear and cleanse and purify not only our chakras, not only our hearts, but now including our womb chakra, we can begin to be prepared to preparing our whole body to come back into sovereignty, to come back into a level of wholeness that we have not experienced for a long, long time. And not only that, but because we are birthing our ideas and our businesses and everything through us, we want to birth through our womb chakra at the level of the higher frequency of unconditional love. And we want to birth everything in balance again, in harmony. And so this is how we're actually literally going to birth the heaven on earth experience. And which I believe right now, this whole kind of, we're in a womb revolution, if you will, across the planet, where many women are beginning to remember and awaken that our wombs are very important in the creation of bringing this new heaven to earth experience and full embodiment and full integration of our divinity, or our I am, in not only into the chakras, but into every inch of us in this beautiful sacred elemental temple that we have. So I myself, being on the journey, have done, so many deeper layers of healing for myself. I actually teach other women how to speak from the depths of their womb. And it totally changes a woman when we can begin to bring the energy down and not just let the energy be so concentrated, at the top of the head, or just speaking from just the throat chakra, but we can really anchor in, our full I am presence. And we began to really connect with the heart womb core. For a woman, this is the most powerful place that we can be grounded, that we can hold our boundaries, that we can hold our beliefs, and that we can speak from. And we can activate that inner Magdalene voice, and we can activate the diamond heart of the Magdalene. And so this is, the work that I do. And I don't know how much time we have left, Mary, but I'd love to take us through a little bit of a process.
Go ahead. I don't know how long it is, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Run this off.
All right. I didn't know how long. So I'll just invite you now to close your eyes for just a moment and have your feet flat on the floor and just be comfortable, not rigid, but just kind of comfortable. And I'll invite you to bring one hand, and it doesn't matter which hand, it's whatever you feel. One hand to your heart and the other hand on top of your womb space, which is a couple inches for a woman below the belly button. I'm just going to ask you to breathe into the core of your body for a moment. Just bring yourself into this present moment. Just letting all thoughts drop away, coming into this beautiful now moment, tuning into that beautiful core of your heart, of your womb, of your center, wherever you feel drawn. And this little practice here with one hand on the heart and one hand on the womb, even though it seems very simple, is very powerful to connect you into the portal of self-love. And so as we discussed, the heart is the portal and the connection to the heart of Cosmic Mother. And the womb is also a connection where we connect into Earth Mother, into her heart in the center of the earth. So as you close your eyes and come into meditation, just go deeper and deeper within you, dear one, deep within, so that you find the root of your soul's essence within, that light, that love, that feeling that speaks deep within yourself, your light, your sacred flame, your sacred fire. And now connecting just with your own soul light within you. See it or feel it burning brighter and brighter and brighter, shining deep within the core of you. And then I want you to say to yourself, as you focus on the depth of your soul within you, say these words to yourself. I am self-love, self-love, self-love. Letting those sink in, letting your body receive that on every level. I am self-love, self-worth, self-belief, self-value, and self-acceptance. Now, as you say these words and receive them, how do you feel deep within your body through the feeling? And dear one, the only way is deep soul love, deep within. Just anchoring it deep within your presence now and making maybe even a vow or a promise. Asking for an image or a word or a color to come to you that represents your version, your understanding, your vision of love, of self-love. Maybe a crystal or a flower. Whatever it is perfect just for you. And receive it deep within yourself. This vibration that you actually are already, that lies deep and dormant within you, waiting to be born anew, waiting to be born, to lift you up, to rise, to be, to love every inch of you, so that you are an endless fountain of unlimited self-love, self-worth, self-belief, self-acceptance in every way, gifting that to yourself. Feel it deep within, this feeling, this perfume, this sweet essence of your divinity that wants to flow through every inch and cell of your body and being again, without apology, without restriction. This is your birthright. This is who you are. And now keep it with you. Keep it within inside, but let it shine brighter and brighter and brighter. Let it burn within your womb, within your heart, within your soul. As this is the one and only truth. And this is also the way of the rose, of the sisterhood of the rose, of which all women are a part. All women have this connection to the goddess, to the Godhead, to divine love. And so just gently breathing in, breathing out, and just noticing what is going on within you inside. A softening, a deep, deep presence of connection or calm or stillness or warmth or tingles, whatever it is, just embrace it. Embrace yourself as the holy child that you are, as the beloved child that you are, that has never been forgotten, and that the love has always been by your side and will be forevermore. So breathing in, breathing out, feeling your feet flat on the floor, and just gently making your way back into our circle, into our beautiful container here Mary's created for us.
I'm purring.
You're purring. I love it.
I think that's what I call it. Does anybody ever find themselves purring like, It was just noises coming after that meditation.
Yeah, I love it. Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary were both badasses. That's actually true. They were a bit of
Both of them.
sacred rebels. I am as well.
Does
I love
anybody,
that.
can I invite somebody to share? Does anybody want to share their experience through the meditation? Oh, I know. That's a bold. I mean, I'll share if nobody else wants to share, but somebody else, just like a 1 minute share. Anyone? Yay, Jessica. Is that okay, Laura? If somebody
Yeah,
shares?
please. Absolutely.
Let's get a
Totally.
share out here. Here we are.
Oh my gosh, that was so beautiful, Laura. That was really beautiful. I loved when you talked about, prior to the meditation, you talked about like honoring the body as a sacred vehicle, which I feel like is always a great reminder. Um, we're going through life and the wheels are turning, and somehow we don't honor ourselves and our bodies as much as it deserves to be. And the practice was so beautiful that you led us through the connection and just the whole visual of holding that sacred fire and allowing it to shine and shine bright. Just kind of leading us through that was profound. It was really impactful. So thank you for that.
Oh, thank you for your kind words. I'm glad you enjoyed that so much.
Thank you. Thanks for
Thank you.
sharing.
Yeah.
Anybody else? One more share, one more quick share. Anyone? Anywhere? Bueller? I'll share. Hey, Shiraz, welcome. We just opened up our womb, so you didn't miss anything.
I think Dr. Barnsley wanted to share.
Dr. B wants to share. I
Yeah.
can't see
Yeah,
all
I'll
everything
share
at once.
quick.
Get
Good to
up
see
here.
Shiraz. Shiraz is an honorary woman. We love his energy. So you know what I love, Laura? One of my teachers was Rachel Jane Groover with the feminine. And one thing I love that Rachel Jane, if you know her, who knows her? She's awesome.
I do.
That she, look at all these goddesses here. And she always says, put your, connect your womb space to your heart and then to your third eye, right? Before you speak. And it's so powerful. Like when we really get present, there's no thing that we have to be thinking, am I authentic or not? We just get to show up and be us, and we're all so beautifully different. I just love, Mary, the juxtaposition of my very, kind of forceful, like crazy, wild, kind of masculine in many ways, energy, let's do this thing. And I love Laura's like receptive, it's like yin and yang. We just saw it there. And we all have yin and yang. We all have that animus. We all have that masculine, feminine energy. So I love that you got us into our feminine power there.
Yeah, and as I was going through, I know who's coming next too, because she's going to bring some fun. Thank you. Thank you for sharing, Dr. Barnsley. Thank you. Last question I have for you while I've got you here on the spotlight. I'm going to sit next to you. What do you have coming up, Laura? What's coming up for you?
I've got 2 new things going on right now. In January 2025, I'm launching a 13 moon Magdalene Rose Priestess certification course I've been working on for 2 years that is birthing, that I have up on my website. And I also have a new Mary Sophia Women's Circle starting up in January as well. Well, we meet on the the new moon and the full moon, and we'll sit in circle, we'll pass the talking stick, and we will be doing some heart wound practices in there as well. So that's what I got going on right now.
Super.
Thank
Any
you.
links in the chat if you want to share them, that would be awesome. And as
Okay.
Elise reminded us, don't forget to save the chat because it's got gold. It's a gold mine in the chat, right? You want treasure? Hit those 3 little dots and you've got it. Welcome, welcome. So I thought it might be fun, Dr. Ellen, to bring you up and because I know you have something really fun to share with us. So I'm going to invite you to the stage. I know that you might be a little faster too. You know, I know that you've got something fun to share. So here she comes. Here she comes. Hi, Dr. Ellen.
Hi, hello again, everyone. Yes, so I have a book coming out with Mary. It is From Simply Surviving to Radically Thriving, 5 Steps to Unleash the Unstoppable You. And I love to share the 3rd step of the process with you this evening. One, because I think it's so fun. Mary and I have done it. And normally I do it in the mirror. If you have heard of Mel Robbins, she has a book out, the High 5 Habit. And I took it and added to it. So take your right hand and high five yourself in the camera and screen and say, I love you. Repeat it with your left hand. I love you. And then both hands, I usually go high in the mirror. I love you. And I like to do that first thing in the morning when I just washed off my face. And the other important part of it is to look yourself in the eye. Because so often we really don't take the time to stop and really look at ourselves and to really connect. And that was just a beautiful practice that you did, Laura, of connecting us to our womb chakra and to our heart. And this just takes it a step further. So you can do her practice and then add this one on. You can also high five yourself in the mirror every time you go by one or every time you're in the bathroom. Just do a quick high five. It reminds yourself to celebrate you, to celebrate what's happening in your life that is worth celebrating. And I would suggest that we all have a lot of things that are worth celebrating. And I know my soon-to-be ex-husband was a big news junkie. And to be honest, I gave up watching the news a while ago. I do try to read through the news so I can scan headlines and know what's going on in the world. But to me, the news is a lot of fear provoking and a lot of, what word do I want to use? For me, it just diminishes my energy and my joy and my enthusiasm for life because I take on the energy of the broadcast. So this is, for me, is a great way of getting rid of some of that negative energy or lower vibrational energy that can sometimes surround us in the world. So I'd love for you to try it out. And there's a link in the chat for the whole 5-step handout and also a link to book a 30-minute call with me. So whether you're a colleague, I'd love to talk to you about how we may partner and bring both of our works further out into the world. And if you're a potential client, I'd love to talk to you and to see how this program might help you in getting to wherever you want to be in your life.
Thank you, Ellen. I love the high five. It's celebration. And if anybody knows anything about me, that's my number 3 non-negotiable. Celebrate. So that's why I thought I'd bring you up. We got our biatch. Did I say it right, Dr. Barnsley? We got that all opened up. Beach. Then the womb opened, and now we get to high five ourselves. We're just staying open. So does anybody have any questions for Dr. Ellen? She said there's a link in the chat so you can learn more about the 5 steps. What do you have coming up in the near future? I know your book is going to be launching sometime probably in January.
Hopefully January, February. We'll pick an auspicious date for that. But the first Saturday of every month, which happens to be this coming Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern time, I do a self-love tune-up call. So just a time for women to come together. So many of us don't find the support that we may need out there or want, or just to share tips and ideas of how we can deepen our self-love, which is not selfish, it is self-full. Because when you give to yourself, then you have more to give to others.
So true. So true. I think something about that at the beginning is, the wellness has to start from within, and then other people can seemingly learn more about being well around us. But it's one thing for us to talk about it and not be it. So I love that. So thank you. Well, thanks for sharing the high five. The high five hookup is what I want to call it. I need a quick high five hookup. Welcome, Shiraz. Hi, how are you? I'm going to let everybody take a deep breath. I'm going to invite Shiraz just to come up for a quick introduction. I know you're going to give us some juice tonight, Shiraz, but I can't just have you here without welcoming you in. So come up here. Hi.
Great to be here.
It's great to see you. Tell us a little bit about you, just in case some of these amazing friends haven't quite met you yet.
I am a reality interventionist, which means I help you get out of the addiction to your current circumstances and addicted to way better circumstances. And women coaches hire me to unleash their full potential and scale their business to 7 figures, because most are sick of yo-yo results, feeling like the best kept secret and not having the impact they want in the world. So I help you become a high impact, high income, sought after expert in your field.
Boom. And I just have to say a little story. I always have a little story with Shiraz, because Shiraz and I met in Denver last year, and I played one of Shiraz's. He has so many tools in his toolbox, but he did a little fun time with us, a couple of us there, and it flowed along the lines of wanting to release my book on September 5th. And it was August 24th. Somewhere around there, and I got back to Sedona, and within that 2-week span from August 24th to September 5th, this little doll baby came through. My first book, Abundant Affirmations. I had no idea it was coming like this, but whatever it is that he that his tools unblocked this. Now, again, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be, but hello, soul-inspired leaders. It never is. It never is. It's better, right? It's better. So thanks, Shiraz. I'm going to bring Shiraz up in a little while to cast some magic into the room, but I wanted to welcome you in. So thanks for being here. So glad to have you. I'd love to bring Irina up to the stage. I want to call her the woman of the hour. For those of you that missed, she is launching her book tomorrow. Are you there? There you are. So welcome, Irina. I know you have something fabulous to share with us. You just wrote a whole book on amazing tools and tips. So take it away, my love.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Mary, so much for having me. And thank you for for Ellen for opening up the heart womb. It was an incredible experience. I'm sorry, Laura for opening up the heart space. And I really loved also Dr. Barnsley. I love that kind of infusing inspiration, magic, humor in the conversation. That's what I want to do. I want to infuse personal development with humor and making it alive, making it easy for people. So yes, I wrote this book called The Gift Inside, and it is about what I want to share with you today. I believe we are holistic beings and we operate in 4 states of being. So I want to take one little tool and share about that tool today. Have you ever, when you are on a gratitude journey, you find yourself in a traffic jam muttering, "Thank you, universe, for this perfect opportunity to practice patience and test my willpower not to scream." Does that sound familiar? How many times do we go and react and immediately jump into conclusions when we are presented with something that doesn't feel aligned? When we are getting triggered with certain situations, and it's like, Why is this happening? Have you ever been in a situation when you are rushing out the door, you have an important meeting to catch, and suddenly you find yourself, you cannot find the keys? They just been sitting here right on the table, and you turn around and they're not there. They're missing. You go, you turn up the bed, you turn up all your stuff, and it's not there. And then the moment you quiet down and you realize and you stop looking, suddenly they appear sitting right there where you left them, patiently waiting for you. But then you rush out the door, you get into the car, you're finally driving, you're on your way, and you're already like falling behind. And now there is a traffic jam. Like, what else can go wrong? And you keep experiencing all that stuff, but sometimes we get those situations in our lives. Let's say there is a traffic jam because it's preventing you from not getting into an accident, or something else is happening, keeping you away, which we currently cannot see, because sometimes when we are in the midst of a difficult situation, when we are in our own little world, all we see is a problem. All we see is this thing that is not working in a way. We want to push right through it, but we always have kind of there are beauty, I guess, in the things that aren't working. There is always a silver lining, and gratitude allows us ability to see, to focus, shift our focus from what is not working to what is working, on our benefits, on our things. Sometimes when we are in a deep, so difficult situation, all we see is the problems, the worries, the lack of stuff, and we take for granted so many things that we already have. The fact that I'm speaking with you today, the fact that I can see and hear and, express my message, or even in the morning, like when we wake up, I took walking for granted until I dislocated my knee. And I'm totally safe and fine right now, but it's been 3 years and I haven't spent the day not saying, thank you, knees, for walking. Thank you for supporting me every single day since that time that it happened. So what I want you to remember is practicing gratitude. I believe gratitude is one of the key ingredients of life. It allows us to be in abundant mindset versus in a lack mindset. It allows us an ability to see many solutions instead of just focusing on the problem, instead of just being in that low level of vibration. Gratitude shifts our vibration on a higher level, and we can experience more. We can become patient. We can become resilient through appreciating about the things that are working in our life. So that's it. Thank you.
I love it. I love gratitude. It's so true. Gratitude leads to all the most magnificent things. Thank you. Thanks for sharing that. So I know, we all know, let's all clap for Irina and celebrate her because she's got a book launch coming up. So what can we get on your launch team? Did you put the link in the chat already? I think she's got a group set up.
Yes, I have a group set up. I'm going to put the link in the chat. 12 steps how to find your happy, the gift inside. I believe we all have gifts inside of us, and it's a moment for us to realize, to wake up to those gifts that we have. Yes, so I'll put the link in the chat. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, look at that bold ass, badass business owner red book. I just love the red. Red has such a power statement to it. I just love the red. So congratulations and thank you for reminding us of just how important, like you got a thumbs up, just how important gratitude is. Woo! I like when Zoom does whatever it wants. So I had in mind that I would love to bring up Jessica. Jessica, join us. Love to see you. And I know that let me turn this timer off. Let me do this. There she is. Hi, welcome.
Thank
So
you.
glad
Thank
to
you
see
very
you
much.
here. Thanks for being here. So I know you've got some really amazing, a lot of amazing tips in your toolbox, but I know you're going to share something fun with us today.
Yeah, so I mean, the holiday season has this bustling energy of like excitement and anticipation, as we're kind of in this mode where we're unwinding and preparing to have more time with our friends and family. I think what it brings with it, as I think we've all experienced, is sometimes some chaotic energy as well, right? And taking us off our center. And what I find, especially in my experience, is managing expectations. I think expectations kind of, just because we haven't seen family for so long and we've all grown in certain ways and things have changed, and there's so much around building up, around coming together again, because we're even missing each other at some level, right? And I think for me, it's become about taking a step back and really, really honoring what I'm looking to come with, and not to come from a place of love, but also be mindful of overdoing, overgiving, over expecting sometimes, because I think that just comes with the territory. When you're just over and over and over doing and giving, I think the expectations slowly start to creep up on you as well. You know, whether it is in terms of, you know, receiving or anticipating appreciation for what you've done. And I think this is something that is always a work in progress for me. And what I've learned in the process is to really just take a breath and respond rather than react. I think that's been a powerful learning for me as I've gone through it, because I think what happens is like this feeling of like they already know what is important to me, but they still do that anyway, right? Like that kind of shows up a lot. It's like there's no consideration for what you've shared is important to you, but they still make a choice. And a lot of the times, honestly, it's from a well-intentioned place. It's just not in their consciousness, or it's just not like where their mind's at to try to like protect, you know, do or not do. And so I think it's just coming back to me and like giving myself grace, and even coming like allowing that part to come up, trigger to come up, and just let it to, you know, just breathe, have its life and pass through you, right? Is kind of the way I look at it. And just showering a little more self-love, showering a more compassion to who you're with, who is in that experience with you at some level, because I find that everything is a vibration at the end of the day, right? Everything is a vibration. And if we are thinking or feeling certain things, it's in our vibration, and it is going to create the reality intentionally or unintentionally. So we'd rather do it intentionally if we want to, you know, experience what we choose on that day. So I think it's just really about coming back, managing expectations, doing from a place of love, and being conscious of when I am crossing that boundary, as you know, for myself, when I'm like doing that to myself, whether it's coming from the expectation side of things, or whether it's coming from an overgiving and kind of keeping that in check. So that is my little tip here, and what I am looking to embody as I go into the season.
I love that tip. We all love it. Respond instead of react. I mean, we're so reactive, aren't we? It's neat that I put in the chat too, like I'm daily in these conversations now with that inner voice that is that whole observer. Okay, so this is happening. So instead of reacting, let's have an inner conversation of how you're going to respond to it, or even why it bothers you. But I think you're right. Just opening up that question always for yourself to look at how you can, how the situation is and why it is bothering you, more than reacting to the same way, because that's what we do, especially over the holidays. I mean, this stuff is like wildfire, because you know, everybody's on edge because the frequency is on edge, because it's buy now, and it's, you know, everything is like get it now, get the buy done now. Look at this champion, we hit the championship. Well, thank you. Anybody have any questions for Jessica? Anything coming up? I think we all love that. Don't really paying attention, really being in awareness right now. Jessica, you've got something coming up next week. You've got an event coming up next week that I would love for you to tell us a little bit about.
Yeah, so, same time, this time of the year, the other big theme for me is really reflecting on what worked this year, what could be different, what I would like to create in the next year that is more in alignment with where I want to be in all areas of my life, health, vocation, and relationships, right? So, and time and money freedom. So what I'm doing next week is a workshop. It's a 1-hour workshop on December. It's a Tuesday. I think it's the 12th. Yes. And sorry, 10th. December 10th. It's at noon, and I can put in the link here if that feels. So we're going to talk again, dive a little bit deeper into vibration and how to align it with what we want to create, and then also create a vision so we can walk into 2025 with clarity and momentum.
Love those words, clarity and momentum. Great. We'll be looking forward to seeing that link. I think it's important to prepare. I'm gonna give Shiraz a big shout out too here in a minute, but I think it is so important to prepare, to just get an idea of what it is that we want to create, because we really get to create it all. And sometimes that part can feel scary too. So thanks, Jessica, for creating an event. I have a similar 2-day event coming up, but that allows people to step into a room and actually claim these things that they desire, to visualize the things that they want to see. And why not get that done now before the holidays? And then I'm going to recommend, here it comes, Sarah. I'm going to recommend you take what you learn, and if you go to Jessica's, if you come to anybody else's event where they're like, let's get our goals put out, and then go to Shiraz's event at the end of the year. It's on New Year's Eve, and he is going to help you remove any blocks. So you'll even have a couple of weeks to come up with what blocks you might think get in the way of what you want. And then Shiraz is going to come in with a vacuum and clean that shit up, but he'll tell us about that in a minute. Elise, I would love to hear from you. Let me find my spotlight. Here you are. Come up here. Here you are. Hi, welcome. Elise and I have been getting to know each other over the past couple of months, and she's got a couple of presentations pre-recorded in our on the YouTube channel for Wellness From Within Summits. But welcome to the stage, darling.
Well, thank you. I am unprepared because I have so many things I can talk about. So I'm going to just touch on what a lot of the other one was speaking of, and not that Shiraz is a woman, but we didn't hear from him yet. But I actually I love to, I'm like a personal development with an edge. I think you can see I'm kind of edgy, but I'm also very woo-woo. And I like to say for people, and I also work mostly with women, or relate mostly to women, is, to take ownership of your life. So when you take ownership of your life, and that's where all the other things come into play, where you go within and speak to yourself first, and all the things we can get into it, everybody touched on. But I think in general, it's like you take ownership of your life, because we're conditioned in society to talk about the holidays. I have also, I recorded them last year, 3 holiday episodes in my podcast, and to help people get through the drunk uncle and the mom who's asking you why you're not pregnant yet, and all the things. And also for the people who are alone on the holidays, and maybe you were never alone before. I know that was a big thing for me in my divorce, and just touching base on the holidays. But it's also just taking ownership, and also letting yourself feel your feelings too. We don't like to do that. We like to shove them, and we don't want to feel them. Or if you're not aware, you might drink your problems away, eat them, whatever you're going to do. So a lot of it is taking ownership is a big responsibility. And my theme for this year, I just came up with this for the end of the year also, is I think I'm going to have like some type of workshop, is, and I needed it for myself too. That's why I want to present this to my audience, is it's time to glow the fuck up. So I find that I am, even though I'm this big personality and I have all these ideas, I find that I have been playing small, and I think so many people play small because it's easy and comfortable, right? So once you take ownership of what you want, then that's where the responsibility comes into play. And I know I'm a little bit all over the place because I'm not really prepared, but I'm big on. I have actually. Let me bring it up on my phone because I would really love to share this. I wasn't prepared, but I have what I call the 9 A's to happiness in life. And I don't know if I'll get into all of them now, but I'll read them to you. And you would think I would know them all by heart now, but I don't know them in order, and I like to teach them in order. So the first one is awareness. So if you don't have awareness, then you can't help yourself or help anyone else for that matter, because you're walking around with your head in the sand, and you're what society may calls a sheeple, because you're not even aware. So if you're unaware, you can't elevate yourself, you can't help yourself, you can't become the person that you want to be. And the second A, so it's first is awareness, then it's the accountability, which is part, saying, taking ownership of yourself. So when I work with divorced women, a lot of women are like, he does this, he did that, he. But it doesn't, you have to take accountability for yourself. And a lot of women don't like hearing this. You allowed it. And that's where the accountability comes into it. And what your soon-to-be ex-husband or ex-husband might have done was uncalled for and unacceptable, but we want to work on the accountability of why you allowed it. That's just a little tidbit. Another thing is acceptance. We walk around, you talked about the expectations of people, Jessica. We walk around expecting things from people instead of accepting what is in front of us, the person that's in front of us, the situations that is in front of us. We don't want to accept it. We want to switch it. We want to change it. We want to take control of it because we don't like it, but you have to accept it. And another thing, I'm touching on these so quickly. The next is alignment. You want to be aligned with what you want, because we can all say, I want the money, I want the job, I want the person, I want the this, but you're not even aligned with it. You don't believe you can have it. You're not aligned with it, inside, mentally, physically, spiritually. So alignment comes into play. The next A is authenticity, because you want to be your authentic self. And a lot of us put on a show for people. I'm a big recovering people pleaser. That's one thing I want to, Shiraz, maybe you can get that block off for me. So you want to show up as your authentic self, but and be it for you, not for anyone else. So when you show up authentically, that's half the game right there. The next thing is the allowing. So you allow people to be them. You allow what is going on in front of you. It's all about allowing, and also allowing you to want things you want. It's all about allowing. So allow that person to not want to be with you. Allow that person to break up with you. Allow the boss to fire you. It's all about allowing, and then allow yourself to feel all the emotions that you have going on. So like I said, I'm just touching on them. And then the next is action. And we've spoken about this here. Action, but it has to become, get the hook, she's going overtime, get the hook, she's going overtime. So action has to be inspired action, because a lot of us in society are in that hustle culture. You got to be doing something. You have to wake up this time. Action. But a lot of people are taking action that's not even getting them anywhere. They're on like the hamster wheel. So it has to be inspired action, and inspired action feels so good. It might not be easy. It might not be fun sometimes, even though it should be fun, right, Mary? It might not be fun, but it's inspired. So you just love doing it. There's no like, oh, I got to do this today. So that's the action that I'm speaking of. The next is the achievement. The A is achievement of the things. With the prior A's, you actually are now achieving the life you want to live, the mate you want, your children, everything. Relationships are going much better because you're practicing these A's all along. And then I most recently add the last A, my 9th one, is now you're fucking awake. Because if you do all those things, you're awake, and once you're awake, you can't go back to sleep. So if you can practice the 9 A's, you are now awake, and you are now showing up in the world the way you want to be, authentically, beautifully, spiritually, and all the things. So that was a little ad-lib version of my 9 A's. And I also have a podcast on it's mostly on, all the audio platforms, but I also started a YouTube channel. And since my podcast for audio, I created this little cartoon character of myself, and it's kind of cute. So I think it's cool. But my podcast is just personal development with sass and woo-woo and F-bombs and controversial topics spoken very bluntly. So a lot of people might not like it. And I used to care about that, and I just don't anymore. And I also have a book coming out in July. It's called The Magic Place, and it's a step-by-step guide to create happiness in your dream life for men, women, and young adults. And I am also going to create this Glow the Fuck Up. I believe I'm going to do like a membership or a mastermind or something, because it's time to glow the fuck up. And we got to glow the fuck up before January 1st. We're going to start in December. So that's what I have for you tonight. Thank you.
I love that. I love it. Glow the fuck up, man. I love it. I love glow up. Also, could you, anybody have any questions for Elise? Ready to drop your...
That was fucking hilarious. I am like in love with you. That's all I have to say. You are just kick ass. And
Thank you.
I like the A's, and I like that, you really took us through some of the biggest issues facing women. People pleasing, for instance,
Yep.
and not being who we are, and being afraid to speak out and own our voices. And the thing is, if we don't own our voices, who owns them?
Right? So true.
Everyone else, yeah.
That's all I had to say.
True.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I would love to, if you have a link for your new YouTube, maybe some people can get over there and subscribe. I just put the link in the chat too for our Wellness from Within pre-recorded presentations. You'll also get them in your email, but there's the link to the YouTube, and you can catch, Elise has a few presentations over there already. But make sure that you connect with her, because when Glow the Fuck Up is up, you don't want to miss that piece and particle. Irina's got her. If you have a YouTube channel, this is a great time. I'm going to bring, I think that everybody has spoken from our expert, aside from Shiraz. I'm going to bring him up next. But if you have a YouTube channel, this is a great moment for people to like move their body and move their hand. Put it in the link in the chat right now. And you can go over there and like and subscribe to everybody's YouTube channel, because everybody's always asking for that. It sometimes is a call to action on when people podcast. It's like, my only call to action is always going to be go subscribe to my YouTube channel. So YouTube channels in the chat, hands on the buzzer. This is your buzzer, right? Go over there and start clicking things. It's a game. It's a fun game because it's fun, right, Elise?
Thank you for putting that out there, because so many people sit back and it doesn't cost you a freaking thing, you all. It takes you 2 seconds.
Right.
Support everybody who has a platform here and getting their voice out. Don't be a little niggardly little misanthrope. Seriously. Just
support. We're all here to support each other. That's really why we came. And that's why I like to set up spaces like this, because we all have a unique treat to offer the world. And we need to be in places where, even though it may not relate to you all the way, there's still a reason why you listen to each one of these speakers today. It could be a friend that knocks on your door tomorrow and says, I'm fucked up. I need to glow. And the first thing you're going to call is your Elise, right? So even if it's not for you, it's probably for somebody in your community. They're just waiting for you to get the knowledge so they can ask you. I like to reverse engineer everything. The universe is simply waiting on you to say yes. Right, Shiraz, or something to that. Any questions for anybody thus far? I'm going to bring Shiraz up. I think I got everybody. Let me see if I can learn how to work the spotlight. Hey, Shiraz.
Mary.
Welcome back. We match.
We match.
Imagine that. I know that you've got something fun to share with us, and you might interact with some. I know you like interaction, so I'm going to let you take the stage and tell us what we get to shift tonight from our so we can be in the reality of all realities. Glowed up.
We can shift whatever you'd love to shift. I think Elise wanted something shifted, and people pleasing, I believe it was. So I don't know if you're actually up for that.
Me, but personally, yeah, I think it's more just holding myself back and not being as shining star as I could be, even though I'm shining, but just limiting beliefs and holding myself back and not being as far as I envisioned in my mind.
Okay. First of all, I want to say I'm really jealous of how comfortable that chair looks right now.
It's very comfortable.
It just looks so soft and inviting.
It's my
Okay.
phone.
Nice. All right. So in case you haven't seen what my process looks like, we're going to have a conversation about what's going on for you. When I talk to you, I can tell, ooh, I can already feel stuff moving. I can tell when your conscious beliefs match your unconscious beliefs. So whenever you say something and it doesn't match, I'm going to say that's not reading as true. I'm not trying to call you a liar. I'm just saying, nope, unconscious has different ideas. So then we'll look for what story is running in the background. And when we get to it, I'll say, are you willing to step out of that story? If you say yes and you mean it, and I can tell if you mean it, it's going to shift in that moment. There will be a shift of energy and there will be a rewiring of your neural pathways. Right? When energy shifts around me, I tend to yawn and cough, so expect that. I'm guessing you know what it feels like for energy to shift in your body. So just let that happen. And the cool thing is, if I'm working on you and anyone else is like, I've got that same story, then when you say yes, they can say yes. Everyone else stay muted, please. And it's going to shift for everyone that says yes and means it. So, okay. So we're talking about you said not just people pleasing, but being fully in your power.
Yes.
Do you want to be fully in your power?
Fuck yes.
See, that's not coming up true. Okay. So what's going to happen if you step up fully into your power? What's going to change in your life?
Everything.
So what are the good things?
Being a household name, money, helping people.
All right. What about the bad things?
Maybe people won't like it or like that I'm not pleasing them.
Okay. Yeah, there was some energy on that. So do you have to make sure people don't get jealous of you?
I wouldn't say jealous. I think growing up, and I've spoken to myself about it, is that you just don't want to outshine people.
Okay. What's wrong with outshining people?
I feel bad.
Okay. So you're making a decision that I have to feel bad when I outshine people.
Right.
So when you outshine people, you can be the inspiration for them to shine brighter. But they're not even going to try unless you're shining brighter. But you're not going to shine brighter if you're like, I don't want them to feel bad in the first place.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's the problem.
So it feels like it's this place of compassion, and it is, but that compassion is keeping you stuck. It's keeping everyone around you stuck too, because you can't be as big as you need to be.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in that growth stage now because I realized just the people, my mates that I had didn't want me to be what I guess I wanted myself to be.
Yeah. So then get different mates.
Right.
That's it. Okay. And I want you to get this. You unconsciously chose those mates to stay in your story.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So are you willing to step out of the story that it's wrong to outshine people?
I'm willing, and I've been trying to.
Okay. So when you're in that energy of trying, it's not actually a real yes.
Yes.
So you have to be willing. And here's the thing, you have to be willing for them to feel like absolute crap that you're doing so well, because that's their stories. They're in choice of how they want to feel, whether they want to come up to your level or stay where they are. And the reason they feel bad is because you're invalidating their story of struggle. You're invalidating their story of lack. And that's why they're feeling small or angry or whatever it is. You have to allow them to feel that way. Right? Because for every person that feels that way, there's going to be all these other people get set free by you shining.
Yeah.
Right. So my general rule, it usually comes with jealousy, is like, if for every person, every 1,000 people that I help, one person hates my guts, I want 1,000,000 people hating my guts, because that means I'm helping 1,000,000,000 people. Right.
And
And
I don't care if strangers hate me.
I know. I'm just sort of putting it in, like, for yours, it's like for every person that feels like you're outshining them, there's going to be hundreds or thousands of people that are attracted to your light, that have found what they were looking for through you. And you have to be willing for that small amount of people to feel like crap, because you're serving the huge amount of people.
Yeah.
So let's try it again. Are you willing to step out of the story that you have to make sure you don't outshine anyone?
No, I'm willing. I'm trying to think of the people you're speaking of, because I'm thinking more of like a mate, of like,
Okay, so let's go real specific then. Are you willing to step out of the story that you're not allowed to outshine your mate?
not outshine my mate. It's just, it's, what's the right word? Is not outshine, is doing my own thing, like when I need to do my own thing. Or like
So-
feeling like, if I'm supposed to do something, and this isn't currently going on, it's just what
Yeah,
I've been
yeah.
carrying.
Yeah.
I like, it's very hard for me to answer, because I feel I'm willing, but I feel like I'm stuck.
Who taught you that your partner is the one that's in charge?
Probably my upbringing.
Okay, so that's your family story.
Right.
You have to live in your family story. Are you willing to step out of their story that your partner is the one that's in charge?
I'm in fucking charge.
Do you feel that now in a relationship, you go into a different space? So right now, I'm asking you, are you willing to step out of the story that in a relationship, it's your partner that's in charge?
Yes.
There it goes. Are you willing to step out of the story that you can't do anything to outshine your partner or make them feel small in any way?
Am I willing? Yes.
Good. And are you willing to step out of the story that in a relationship, you're not allowed to do what you want to do?
Yes.
And in an ideal relationship, you get to do whatever the hell you want to do whenever you want to do it. And your partner gets to do whatever the hell they want to do whenever they want to do it. But most of the time, it's the same thing together. Yeah. How's that feel?
It feels great. It just, in the back of my mind, it feels like I have like someone saying like, but you're leaving me.
So what's happening is you're going from past evidence
Yes.
of people you've chosen from your past story. All of that evidence is now invalid because the belief has shifted. Doesn't matter how much of it you've accumulated, it's now all invalid.
Yep.
So now it's time to create new evidence where you'll meet someone and they're like, I love how powerful you are. I'm right there with you. Let's go rock the world. So don't focus on the thing that could go wrong and start focusing on all the things that can go
Yeah.
right.
And I think it's like imposter syndrome too, because everything that I teach, I've been actually doing to myself this for quite some time, like the imposter syndrome and all those things, and holding on to the stories for so long. Like I feel so stuck and blocked, because I actually knew what I was doing. So it makes it almost worse. You almost like beat yourself up for doing it.
Yeah, well, welcome to being a coach. We all do that.
Yeah.
So it's okay. Forgive yourself.
Yeah. I have a problem doing that.
There's not one coach I know that hasn't gone through what they're teaching, oftentimes while they're teaching it.
Yeah.
So are you willing to step out of the story that because you've gone through this, you're an imposter in what you teach?
I'm willing to give that up. Yes.
Are you willing to step out of the story that in order to be a great coach, you always have to have your shit together?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Now you can just step up in a bigger way. What I
Yeah.
find with a lot of people is stuff has happened in the past and you're busy trying to make up for the past.
Yeah.
When you're trying to make up for the past, you're not actually moving forward. So when you accept, I just screwed up in the past, now let me move forward, you actually make a lot more progress a lot faster. So are you willing to step out of the story that you have to make up for all your past mistakes?
Yes. I wish I was releasing like that as well. That physical release. Like like it's like a ayahuasca release. If you've ever done ayahuasca.
If you're feeling better, you're going through the rhythm. So how are you feeling?
I feel better since it was asked specifically. I think I keep going back to my current relationship with my husband, which is amazing. But the road to get here, like I keep going, like I keep holding on to shit from the beginning of a relationship when I was first doing my business. And I actually had a conversation with him the other day, and I said, that's on me. I don't know why I'm holding on to it. So I don't know why I've done these things, probably because I'm a human.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons. What would happen if you let that go?
Then I'd have to show up.
Yeah. I knew that was coming. Okay, so it's amazing how we're like, I want to show up, I want to be the biggest. We hold these things up so we have an excuse not to show up because that's still scary.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are you willing to step out of the story that you have to keep creating excuses not to show up fully?
Yes.
Are you willing to step out of the story that showing up fully is going to be too scary?
Yes. Stepping out of that story.
As much as you hate bad situations, your mind hates the unknown way worse. It would rather slip you into a bad situation than to an unknown, which is why you're creating that. When you're willing to go to the unknown as an adventure, as like, what's going to happen? This is going to be awesome. Then all these other things start to break away. And I like to think of it as you're going to a movie. When you go to a movie, you don't sit there and go, I better know the ending before I watch this movie, or else, I'm not going to see it because I have to know everything. You like go in, go, oh, I can't wait to see what happens in this movie. I can't wait to see what happens to the main character. It's going to be awesome. You're the main character now. Get excited about the movie.
And I know that intellectually. I mean, I
Yep.
say the same thing. It's
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a lot of responsibility in showing up fully?
In what way?
That's not coming up true. Yeah. So there it is. So I grew up with great power comes great responsibility. And that affected my life. It gave me rheumatoid arthritis, all sorts of stuff. And really, it's with great power comes great opportunity. You don't have to be responsible for anyone. So are you willing to step out of the story that when you really show up, you're going to have a lot of responsibility?
Yes.
How's that feel?
It feels good. It feels like I still revert back to the beating myself up, a little bit.
Okay. I want you to forgive yourself. You've been taught actually that when you do something wrong, you need to be punished for it. And most people are taught that because as kids, we do something wrong, we get punished for it. Except now as an adult, when you do something wrong, that's the punishment. By beating yourself up mentally, you're double dipping on punishment.
Mm.
So are you willing to step out of the story that every time you make a mistake, you have to punish yourself?
For years. I
For
do that.
years, are you
I'm
willing
willing
to step out of that story?
I'm willing to step out of that. And I also want to step out of the story of not forgiving others.
Yeah. Whew. Okay, so you said that to stop the shift. So are you willing to step out of the story that if you do something wrong, you have to punish yourself?
Yes.
And now, are you willing to forgive others for their role in your life?
I like to say I release them. I don't like
Are
to
you
say
willing to release them?
I am very willing to release them.
Good. Ooh, I like how your release was very gentle.
I just have a quick question on that one. How do you maintain the release? Because I feel like I do it and then
Yeah.
I go back to it.
Yeah, because this is the thing. That's why I call myself an interventionist. You've created an addiction to the stories. So when we release the stories, it's like you saying, I'm going to stop drinking alcohol. The cravings are going to come back. You're going to want to bring the beliefs back. So you want to hit it over and over and over again. For some people, one release will do it. I've done that for some of my beliefs, but most of my beliefs, I start getting out of it, then I come back and I have to work with someone to get out of it, come back. But you start making this upward progress this way rather than just up and back and stuck in that yo-yo results. So keep working on this. It takes about 6 months to get over an addiction, and you've been addicted to this, right? And so after about 6 months, is why my programs are always about a year, because 6 months to get out of the old addiction, 6 months to get into the new addiction. And then you're just living a new life. So that's what you do.
Nice.
Living a new life. I like that. I like to. Thank you, Elise. Thank you for
That was
stepping
great
in.
and unexpected. Thank you so much.
Thanks for
Appreciate
stepping
it.
into the hot seat. Thank you, Shiraz, for sharing your gifts.
Well, thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, I love it. So I'm going to ask you, Shiraz. I know you've got something coming up, and so everybody just got to see you witness your magic. What do you got coming up? I've got a link for it, but you can tell everybody about it.
I've got your link all queued up here. So on December 31st, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, we're doing Release, Reset, and Reignite Your Magic for the new year. And this is the 11th year we're doing this. People that have come here have had transformations in the workshop. The following year becomes smoother. You are happier. People get out of illness. People make more money. One of my coaches that attended in 2022 ended up making an extra $4 million in 2023. So he was really happy he showed up. And yeah, and so I'm giving you a coupon through Mary for $70 off. So it's $27 for general admission and $127 for VIP. And it would be great if you could come out and enjoy the fun.
Yes, I'm excited to be there. As I was saying earlier, with what Jessica's offering or anything that you're stepping into in the next couple of weeks that are your projections and your goals, and getting yourself set up and actually writing these things down and having just a few weeks or days in between and then coming to this event, I think would be amazing. It just sounds really, because then you'll see what you want and then you'll have a clearer idea, because some people get into this. I know me, like, I don't know what's in my way. I don't know what to clear. So I think that could be fun. So links are in the chat. Save the chat. We have just a few moments. I know Dr. Barnsley, you want to share something, but I just want to go around the room just really quickly with takeaways from, people that have been listening. So I'm going to just start hollering out some names. I just love for you to get on mic and just give us one takeaway of what you've gotten here tonight by listening to all these amazing speakers. So I'll just, as a day, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Probably not. Dr. Barnsley said it better. Do you have a takeaway? What did you What was the most exciting part of this time we've spent together here tonight?
Um, you pronounce it almost correct. That's Azadeh. Yes, that's a Persian name. So if you don't know it, that's very normal. And so the takeaway for me was that the most interesting part, I should say, that was the last part when Shiraz was because I feel like he got pretty deep. And as I was listening, I was like, oh yeah, I can say this about myself too. And that's the scary part. And that's, I guess, it's scary to step into something scary. But that was the most interesting part for me. And the other part was Laura, when she was talking about the connection. So that was something that I guess almost never I have thought of it, to connect my womb. Like that was something that I am usually a brain person. I'm not a, very body person. And that was very great too. So I'm happy that I joined. And that was a very last minute when Barnsley told me, but I'm glad.
Super. Well, thank you. Thanks for being here and thanks for sharing that. It is a whole lot of fun to learn new things. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me see who I can get up here next. Mel. Hey, Mel. We haven't even heard from you. I'm glad that you were here. Let me get you up here next to me. I'm going to get close to you. How are you? Welcome.
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. Dr. Barnsley sent you over, huh?
That's it. That's my friend. Yeah.
Did you find anything valuable? I'm sure that you did, but what's one or two of your takeaways?
Yeah, I did. The very first lady that spoke, I was going to say her name was Mary, but that's not the case. That's your name. We did the meditation. It was kind, sweet, reminds me of a lot that what I would hold for a lot of my directees, as we call them in spiritual direction. So that was just it was very calming, was very gentle, was very moving. As far as the others, I found a nice shift of empowering, but not pushy. It was just to the right level. So yeah, I enjoyed what I heard, and I'm very appreciative. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming. And it was Laura. So yeah, Laura
It's
did
Laura.
that. Yeah, she did that great meditation and talked to us about connecting with our womb. So make
Yes.
sure everyone that you save the chat, that you connect with at least one or two people from tonight. I'm just spitting that out just as a reminder. Some of these expert speakers have some great opportunities coming up in the near future. So you can save the chat and you can plug around and play and see which ones fit for you. Let's see who else. Amy, hi, welcome. I'm going to bring you up to the stage. We didn't get to chat with you also, so let's get you. I brought you all the way up. You were all the way up and in, Amy. We can learn about Amy too. She's guiding women. She's navigating change. Tell us just a little bit about yourself and then a takeaway.
Thanks very much. I was invited by Dr. Barnsley, who I'm in her mastermind group, and yes, guiding women navigating change. Get your sparkle back in your second act. I'm working with women who who are maybe finished raising their kids, or they're just done with that corporate job that they had and really only did because they paid the bills, but they want something more in their next chapter. And so like when Barnsley was talking about the boundaries that we set, I feel like, we've been working a lot with that, with boundaries. And then connecting with our lower chakras to ground us, so we have the power to stand in our, in that feminine energy. Yeah, it's and then being part of the healing that just happened with Shiraz, I feel like everything just was connected so well. So yes, I'm blessed to be here with you all, and blessed that I'm being invited to be on Barnsley's Badass Business Show on Friday. So I hope you'll tune in for that and you can learn more about what I do there. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. And again, thanks for having me.
Super. Thank you. Yeah, you can put that too in the chat, your LinkedIn, just in case people save the chat, or everybody likes to play with their phone. She's got that QR code. You can just snap a. I love QR codes. I'm always like, make sure there's a QR code in your book. Everybody likes to get their phone out and play
Yeah,
with it. Thank
that's
you.
right.
Thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing your takeaways, and love those lower chakras. I
Yeah.
think that, it's like we all wanted to skip over the base chakras for some reason and get to the ethers. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I'm glad that we got that. So thanks so much for sharing. Let's see, Liz, I see you. I would love to bring you up and see any takeaways that you've got. Share your takeaways. There she is.
Here I am. Here I am. Yeah.
Those are my 3 favorite words. Here I am all day long.
So a favorite and much beloved professor many, many years ago, who was the consummate feminist, used to say, there ain't nothing a couple women can't get done before noon. And so I think about, the power of the women in this room. And that's what's really striking to me, because everybody had something really quite profound to say. So, going through all of them, no, we've heard it. It's good. Connect. You'll hear more for sure. You'll hear more for sure. So I just want to acknowledge you, Mary, for putting this group together. It's really quite phenomenal. I'm very pleased to have been invited and to have discovered you through my pal Barnsley. We've been friends for many, many years. Yeah. And I'm really glad to see my dear friend and colleague Shiraz show up, because we essentially do very similar things. High performers and speakers work with me to get out of pain. Either it's pain in their back, pain in their bank account, pain in the bedroom. It's like I uncover the hidden stuff. I'm a master healer in a number of modalities, and a certified coach and hypnotist, et cetera, and I mix and match as I'm guided to get people where they need to go and to get out of their own way, essentially. So anyway, Ross has been fun to work with for a number of years now. So.
Well, I see you on my calendar, so I can't wait to chit chat with you. But thanks for being here. And, to all of you, thank you for doing this work, this playing this role, accepting, or I'll use that word that just I kept hearing from you, Elise, like allowing yourself to become. Because that's what we came here for, to become these magnificent helpers and healers and supporters and just life receivers and givers. I put receiving first. Like, we receive life, and we're not too scared to give it away in that way. So thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Okay, let me learn how to remove the spotlight. All right, let's go around to I think I've gotten all of our fabulous guests. Yes. I'm going to start with you, Laura. Any takeaways for you tonight?
Yeah, just really enjoyed being here, listening to everyone, seeing everyone's authentic, inspiring, starlight, heartlight. Very grateful, and just felt very inspired by the whole evening, and just really grateful to be here and enjoy this really special container. I feel these containers are rare today, and I so appreciate each person here and all the inner work and courage and love that it took for you to get here. Thank you so much for being a bright light in the world.
Thank you, Laura.
And you too, Mary.
Thank you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for saying that.
Thanks for inviting me. Enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you. Good. Elise, takeaways. Oh.
Wow.
What do you got,
There
doll?
are so many. First of all, thank you so much for creating this, container for us to all meet up, because when I wasn't joking, Dr. Barnsley, when I said I keep to myself, because we when you get to this place, you feel everyone's energy and everybody, there's not a lot of us walking around it right now, like immediate 5-mile radius, right? So I love the takeaway of getting to meet all these like-minded women and men that I may have never have met if we didn't have Zoom. So thank you to Zoom for creating Zoom. But my biggest takeaway is that I'm going to sound a little bit, see, I'm like already saying that I want to sound selfish, but whenever I come to these things, I realize that I do have so much to give and so much knowledge and wisdom, because when I hear other people say some of the very things that I want to be saying, and I hold myself back from saying, so it's making me feel that, you know, the stars and moons and the suns are aligned, that I am glowing up, because just by that I got picked with Shiraz is just it's not a coincidence. So my takeaway is that I love this. I loved what everyone was saying. I loved connecting with everyone. That's why I keep saving the chat, because I would like to connect with everyone. And just that we are beautiful, vibrating, beautiful stars wrapped in skin, and we are all here to help each other. So my takeaway is that I just love being here. Thank you.
Thanks for being here. Always thanks for being here. Yeah, save the chat. I said it again. I just put some links in where you can connect with me also. My Calendly link. I'd really just love to get on a call with you, even if we've been on a call before. But I do also have a 2-day event starting next week. But thank you for that so much. And Dr. Barnsley, I'd love to, well, I'm going to save you for last, because I want you to give us your last 2 minutes. Irina, I know. You know, I get lost in the moment too. Irina, what are you taking away? A bunch of people that are going to buy your book tomorrow at 99 cents to help her get to bestseller? Is she taking that away?
Thank you so much for organizing, and it's been amazing to be here. And I love all the wonderful speakers. Dr. Barnsley really sparkled, and I want to be like you, Dr. Barnsley. I want to infuse magic and positivity and energy in delivering my message. And I love how everyone spoken, Annalise, so powerful. I loved your 9A strategy, amazing. And Laura, who opened up the heart space. Thank you so much. And Jessica, thank you so much for being here. And Shiraz, amazing release and beautiful energy, and just always a pleasure to be here. Wonderful people, and yeah, I miss that stuff. Thank you so much.
Always good. Yeah, it's always good to be in a room with you, Irina. Everybody's a doctor on the call, I think. I mean, you guys that have earned it, doctors, but you know, we all have a medicine. We all deliver medicine. And so thank you. Thank you for being here. And I'm excited. I'm excited about your next 48 hours. So, Jessica, there you are. Welcome, Jessica. Takeaways.
Thank you so much, Mary, for organizing this. This is really been amazing. I mean, I came onto this really last minute. We literally spoke yesterday, and I'm so glad I came. It is a beautiful container of energy, I mean, that you've created here, you know, so it's amazing to be around all of you. Like many others said, so much positive words that have been spoken today, and we're always looking for that, you know, to kind of spruce ourselves up. So I think it was a great mix of like giving and receiving, and I loved it. And smaller containers, as somebody mentioned, are harder to find, especially ones that are curated. So I really appreciate you putting this together. Thank you so much. And I think all of the nuggets of wisdom, and I think more than even the wisdom, I think it's the energy that everybody brought, like the authenticity, everybody's standing in their magic, sharing their truth, and just from their heart. So I loved being a part of it. Even, I mean, I think when Elise was doing her session with Shiraz, or the breakthrough, I mean, I almost felt like I could have been sitting in that seat, and the things that she was saying, just like, oh gosh, you know, it's like it is there. And I love what, you know, he said that sometimes we attach to these stories because we're just afraid of stepping into the unknown and being visible. So we hold attached to that. So that's definitely one of my takeaways also. And I feel like for me, just in the last month, the energy has shifted a lot. I was also kind of in a cocoon. And I think this is just kind of bringing more momentum to it and reinforcing some of those things that I heard today, that sometimes only I'm telling myself, but it's good to hear it outside of me. So
Oh. Mhm.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Generally, I find that, some people that, and yes, I have a history of pulling tarot cards too, professionally, but it's the same thing. Once we all get on a call together, there's no coincidence that each one of us are aligned in this space and that all these things get said. And, just when we least expect it, we're also getting the shifts from our fellow, it's very powerful stuff. So I'm glad that you said yes. I'm glad that you're here. And I'm really excited about learning more about you and sharing more of you and being more in your space. And don't forget, if you haven't signed up for something that is setting you up for your 2025, Jessica's got a great one-day event coming up next week. Her link is in the chat. Everybody that has something coming up, their link is in the chat. Let's see. So thank you. Thanks, Jessica, so much for sharing with us tonight and being here. I appreciate it. Shiraz, I'm going to let you speak one more time on the takeaway because Dr. B is going to take us home. Dr.
All right.
Barnley, she's going to take us home. Take me home tonight. Okay. That's happened. Just the 80s.
Okay.
Takeaways, food for thought.
Well, yeah, I missed some because I had like 4 overlapping events. However, I will never forget glow the fuck up. And the 9 A's were amazing. So yeah, that was great. I'm glad I got to hear that.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, glow the fuck up. It's the new something. Something came to mind and I forgot it. But thanks for being here. Don't forget to join Shiraz. It's on New Year's Eve. I mean, where else would you want to be on New Year's Eve than creating a whole new reality for yourself? I mean, isn't that really why we celebrate the new year? Because we have the opportunity. Once we move the obstacles, we have all the opportunities to create our best life. Thanks, Shiraz, for always being here and, being magical and speaking to us all in some way, clearing us all.
Well, thank you for creating the space for everyone. This was amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, Dr. Barnsley, I know it's hard to keep you quiet. But I am
very quiet. I speak a lot in the chat though. I love supporting everybody. So if I annoy you, fuck you, because I love to support everybody.
You are not annoying and fuck us anyway.
Just saying.
I'm going to give you the spotlight because I know you're going to tell us your takeaways and I know you're going to give us something on the outcome, 2 minutes of something. Didn't you say you have a 2-minute something?
Oh, yeah. Experiential. We didn't have time before. I want to give that to everybody. Yeah. So I just want to say, Mary, like really from my heart, I love your energy. I just want you to know that. And I really love your humility because I feel like tonight I feel very blessed that I've gotten to be in the presence of everybody's brilliance, And I feel like I feel like the theme tonight, and y'all tell me if you think this is right in the chat, is that there's no more time to wait. Your brilliance is needed right now. And no matter what you're thinking about yourself or feeling about yourself, or whatever kind of fucking imposter syndrome you're feeling, we've all felt that you're still putting what you share out there for the good of humanity. Yes. Because guess what? There's a lot of darkness. Mm-hmm. And I didn't used to believe in evil, you all, but I have come to believe in it recently with some of the things coming out in the news and the election and so forth. And I believe that every single light worker and everyone here is a light worker, that it is our responsibility, even more than that, it is our charge. We are charged with leading the charge and being that light on the planet. So anyway, that's what I want to say. And this is cool. All right. I'm going to do it a little differently than I usually do. All right. So we talked about who you're annoyed by, who's getting in your boundaries, who's invading your space, who's an asswipe. or acting like one around you. So now we're going to do a cool little meditation. But in this meditation, I'm going to change it up a little bit because we're going to bring in your radiant, beautiful self. So that whatever lies you've been telling yourself about who you are, you leave that shit tonight. You leave it behind. Does that sound good?
Okay, 2 minutes.
All right, let's do it.
Let's go.
All right. So just close your eyes for a second, feet flat on the floor, palms face up in your lap, everything uncrossed so the energy can flow. And I invite you just to, in your mind, see the people who are causing you irritation and annoyance. And each of them is in a bubble, right? And maybe it's a group of people, like it could be the people who voted for X candidate, whatever. But you're going to see them in a bubble, all right? And notice that those who are annoying you, guess what? They're closer to you. They're closer. They're way too close, in fact. And you're uncomfortable and you feel invaded. You feel angry. You feel violated. And so what this is that you get to move them out. So you just, in your mind's eye, you're going to take that bubble that each of them is in and you're going to move it far away. So you can hardly even see who's in that bubble. Maybe you can't see them at all. Move it out. Move them far, far away from your energy because truthfully, they are draining you. Good job. Keep going. Move them on. Move them out till you can hardly even see them. Maybe you can't see them at all. You moved them into another freaking galaxy. Good on you. And now I want you to bring somebody you adore, you love, somebody who's a cheerleader for you, somebody who is your great supporter. And I want you to see them in a bubble, and I want you to bring them way up close to where you are. Bring them up close. And as you bring them close in that bubble, you feel how much they love you. All that love, unconditional love they have for you, you feel it just shower over your body. Do you feel that? And add one more person or two more people real quickly because we only have 2 minutes, and bring them up close, really close. Those people who adore you, those people who love you, those people who are always cheering you on. And finally, I want you to bring your most radiant you. See him or her in that bubble. And I want you to bring that radiant you, the most radiant, powerful, owning her or his voice, you, bring them right up close. And I want you to hug that bubble with you in it. Hug it with gratitude for who you are and who you are becoming. You are a powerful expression of divine source energy. And you are perfect, wonderful, amazing, just as you are. And know that whenever you need to, you can do this bubble exercise to push any situation or any person or group that is causing you issues, push them out, far out from your energy, from your beautiful self, and bring in those who truly love and accept you just as you are, including yourself. And so it is.
Yes, and so it is, and so it is, and so it be. Thank you, Dr. Barnsley. Thank you for bringing us all the way home to our radiant self. What a beautiful way to finish, to be in that space, your brightest radiance. I mean, as soon as you said that, it's like I put the whole neighborhood out with my light. Like it was like like lightning struck me. Oh, I love being in this room with each and every one of you. I appreciate your time. I know that we just kept on going and going and going, but you know, who turns off love when you're in the moment? So receive it. I am sending you an abundance of peace, love, and blessings into every single area of your life. Save this chat. Promise yourself to connect with at least 2 people that you were on this call with today, maybe 4, maybe 2 today and 2 tomorrow. Maybe write everybody's name down and ensure that you connect with everyone over the next month. This is the one seemingly thing that most brilliant, beautiful, bold, badass entrepreneurs fall short on. We all do. I know I'm going to get some heads, and some of the most powerful, even the 7 figures, is follow up. It's follow up. Don't forget to follow up with one another. We're not here by coincidence, and synchronistic. And I just want to say one more thing before I say la vie. I love the way this works. You know, I have 2 young adults in my life. They're my children. They're known as the ones that chose me. They're 18 and 21. And just as we were going through this 2 hours, my daughter is traveling by herself again, and her flight got, all these things happen, but she handled it faster than I could. And Shiraz will appreciate this too, because this is the last text I got from my Emily. Everything always works out the way I want it to. Boom. At 21, everything always works out the way I want it to. And so it does. And so it does. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for shining your light and sharing your heart. Go out and
Mary,
share with the
can
world.
we take a
Yes.
picture and everybody put lots of
Yeah.
hearts under reactions and post
Yeah.
it
Can
to
you do that?
Facebook and tag Mary and tag
Okay. Yeah.
everybody. Bring attention.
Yeah. Good idea.
Be a giver, right? Okay.
Yeah. Here we go.
All
1,
right,
2, 3.
wait.
Everybody smile.
Okay, so send your 1, 2, 3. Send your like hearts up with the send with the effect. Okay, everybody smile. Look happy. No spiritual constipation here. Awesome. Beautiful.
Okay. Very well. Thank you all. Go have the best night of your life. And don't forget to join on some of these links. Connect with one another. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye, everyone.